Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the CEP's downtown studios in the horse capital of the world with Dancing Pete Roeder. And I don't know where to begin because there's so much. I don't know how we're going to cram it all in one show.
But we're going to.
But we will. I want to say, first of all, congratulations to White Abarrio, the White Horse, as he's known, and very, very excited for not only Spendthrift, who we love and have visited in Kentucky, but also to the Ocala Connection, Summerfield Training and Sales, Andrew and his family, who actually sold this horse. And Andrew told me way back when, watch out for this horse, and he's really shown up winning the Classic this weekend. An amazing race, and lovely to see the Dutros in the winning circle. And just to hear from Chip, and next week we're going to share an interview actually with Chip where he talks about his 4 o'clock visits. This is him sticking his tongue out at the rest of the world like, yeah, see, I can do it. But Chip shared with us a little story about how 4 o'clock every morning this horse looks for him to come with the mints and visit him. And that's Rick Dutro, the trainer. Chip is his brother, who is the assistant trainer, and how he takes this horse out every morning after he's had his breakfast so he can graze in his favorite patch of grass. And I just thought it was just so neat to hear the love in Chip's voice for this horse. And he said, oh, I get to hang out with this guy, and it's just the best. So,
wow. Look at you behind the scenes,
I know,
sitting by the flowers.
Blanket there, and
so what's
really
their flower
exciting.
For the Breeders' Cup?
Don't ask me, because I can never remember the name of it. And I have one. I have one from the American Pharoah blanket at home that I saved, but I can never remember the name of it. And actually, Kylie looked it up the other day, and I can't remember. So anyway, Kylie's in charge today. Isaac is actually in Orlando working an event, but Kylie's here, so she's...
So we're in safe hands.
We're in safe hands, yeah. So anyway, it was a great race, a great horse. Actually, many great races over the weekend. 2 days, Friday and Saturday of racing. Of course, we were only there Saturday, but it was wonderful to see all the Ocala-Marion County connections. There are many.
And why do they call it the Breeders' Cup?
Because it's all the breeders are the focus of that, who bred the horse. Now, that doesn't mean then it doesn't matter. It still matters who owns it currently and who the trainer is, but there's breeders' awards that come like extra money for being a breeder, and then often the breeders are actually there. And these are some of the other winners that had Marion County connections. Cody's Wish, of course, has the story that hasn't given anybody a dry eye in days.
Yeah, and we don't want to hear about the ending of that story.
Well, you know, it's incredible that the parents of this young man, Cody Dorman, were actually determined to give this little boy the best life that he could have. He met Cody at the farm with Make-A-Wish Foundation when the horse was still an unnamed weanling, and they named the horse Cody's Wish after Cody Dorman, who was not supposed to live past his 2nd birthday. And the horse, he was at the horse's every race. Every time the horse saw him, he went and put his head in his lap. This is a stallion who is all cranked up and fired up to run, and always stopped to put his head in the lap of Cody Dorman when he was in his wheelchair. He actually had a very rare syndrome that he was born with, and Cody was at every single race, and really it's what kept him going and Cody was in the winner's circle this weekend when Cody's Wish won the Breeders' Cup for the second time, won his Breeders' Cup race. He's actually a Bridlewood grad here in Ocala. He won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and Cody Dorman was right there for it. And Cody's family left on Sunday to go back home, and very sadly, Cody
Passed away.
he passed away on Monday morning, and very sad to hear that. But he lived an amazing life. He lived many, many years longer than was expected, and he stayed around until Cody's Wish ran his last race. Cody's Wish actually retired after this race to go to the breeding shed and be a stallion. So anyway, try not to cry.
That's right.
I'm really, really amazed by his parents, by their strength, and just what amazing people they are, that they carried on giving him a life and didn't just keep him at home and let him enjoy himself. And he loved every minute of being around Cody's Wish. So just a really tear-jerking story.
Our hearts and prayers go out to the family.
Yes, they do. Thank you, Pete. That's what I was going to say. We've got mention a few events that are coming up. Horse Farms Forever has their summit, which is coming up.
Here's your tongue twister.
Yeah, I know. I can never say it, right? Conservation Summit 2023. Conversations about conservation. I did good, didn't I?
Woo!
Yes.
That was
November 16th.
better than I could do.
From 5 to 7 p.m. They're talking about the Florida Wildlife Corridor, saving the panther. The Florida panther is the focus of this particular summit.
And it'll be interesting because the guy that found the panther in the swamps in Florida will be there.
Yes, that's right. So
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, Carlton Ward Jr., a National Geographic explorer, is going to be the keynote speaker, talking about the endangered Florida panther. So make sure you sign up for that. It's $40 a ticket, and you can go online to horsefarmsforever.com, and it's at Ocala Breeder Sales. That particular event is. Stirrups and Strides are having their annual fundraiser for for their therapeutic riding club. This is their big fundraiser. They're trying to fundraise for covering all their costs for the year. That is Bootleggers, Jackpots and Jazz, and that is December 2nd. So get your 1920s costume out for that.
And we got to say 1920s. We can't say 20s anymore.
Oh, that's right. We can't say the 20s. We must say 1920s. Tickets are $100. That's the suggested donation. You can take a whole table, and there are sponsorships available. You can go to stirrupsandstrides.com for that, for more information.
We have some Charleston dancing going on.
Yeah, Pete will teach you the Charleston for sure. Absolutely. If you show up, he'll teach you. He's the dancing teacher, right?
Well, they actually have a professional group coming also.
Oh, okay. Professionals, okay. And then our Open Hands Animal Rescue Pet of the Week is Phoenix. And I hear Phoenix is very sweet, actually. I kind of want them all, as Tammy knows when she sends me.
There's a theme to these dogs that look like your dogs.
Yes, I know, you're right. So Phoenix is 3 to 4 years old, 30 pounds, dog, cat, and chicken friendly, apparently. She's a little shy because she comes from extreme abuse circumstances, but very sweet once she warms up to you. Of course, she is all up to date on her shots, spayed, and microchipped. So if you would like to adopt Phoenix, she is looking for her forever home, and sounds like she might be a nice barn dog, barn companion, since she's seems to like other animals as well. So Open Hands Animal Rescue, they are absolutely phenomenal. They're going to be having an event at Ocala Dog Ranch coming up very soon for adopting out a number of these animals. They've had a influx of a lot. They've been fostering a lot out, so we're just trying to help get as many of them as we can adopted out to good homes. So very important. We've got lots for you in the lineup. We have got quite a busy show. We have top endurance racers here in the studio with us, known for a long time. I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. Heather and Jeremy Reynolds. And excited to have them with us. And we also have Tick back in the studio with us. Tick Maynard is going to be with us, and also Glenn Stewart. So we're very excited to talk about some colt starting with them. So we'll be back after this break. We're going to wipe our eyes, and we'll be good to go. Stay with us. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. Horsemen, are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? LipChip, built by horsemen for horsemen, is ready to revolutionize your world. The answer is in the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock your horse's health information. From driving to Grand Prix jumping, all horses, all breeds, and all disciplines. The future is in the integrity and transparency of all horse sports, and in the safety of our horses. The future is here, and the future is LipChip. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show. This segment brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms,
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
television broadcast sponsor. Look, they're even on my shirt.
Woohoo!
Isn't that cool? I know, nice. So, friends of ours back in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital, thrilled to have Heather and Jeremy Reynolds, who we were trying to figure out how long I've known them, and we can't even.
A long while.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? Megan was little when she used to come out and ride with you in Dunellen, so that was 10, 11 years ago, must be. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Absolutely.
And also when you're the top endurance riders. Well, you're definitely the top endurance riders that I know, and I think you're probably in the very, very top few in the US for sure. So you guys, hard to keep up with, amazing, incredible riders, and do the Tevis Cup and many, many other endurance races. Tell us a little bit about you guys. You've been doing this for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, longer than I care to say, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
So when did you start? What year?
88.
88.
No
there you
way.
go.
You must
You
have
guys
been
do the
diapers.
math.
Yeah.
Okay, neither one of you look old enough to have done it in 88. So how did you fall in love with endurance racing? Why that sport?
I fell in love with it. I like going places, meeting people, enjoying my horse, and I get to see so much countryside that I would never see otherwise because I'm not that ambitious. Yeah, and I get to see things like that where I'm
That's amazing.
caring for my life. But yeah, that's what I like doing about, why I am drawn to endurance,
Yeah, LynnGlazer.com. Look, she can take some pictures, right?
for sure.
That's amazing. Wow. And where is that? Where are you in this?
I'm on the Tevis, trying not to die right there.
Look at that.
My horse, so on this particular spot, there's a bypass, and the horse had just gone on the bypass, and I told him to jump up, and when he did, when you tell his horse to go, he really commits, we'll say. So he overjumped, he landed like a kangaroo, and his legs were kind of flailing in one of those other pictures. He was going to flip over backwards, and instead he made a choice to pirouette and do this, which I appreciate the choice, but I yelled some really loud profanities right about then.
Yeah.
And we survived, and we came in, yeah, that's me saying, please don't step on me.
Wow.
Because when he landed, he had to pinball going to the left because otherwise we were going to go off of a cliff.
Off a cliff.
And
Oh, is that all?
So instead, so as bad as this all looks, he made excellent choices.
He did.
I mean, it looks horrible, but for what he was given, this was the best choice he could make.
Yeah.
This is not for beginners.
Actually, you know, the last segment of the show, we've got some little walk up the hill videos to the Hollywood sign. You know, that it makes it look fairly like tame. You know, compared to.
And like I said, there's a bypass, so don't let this deter you from this.
No, not at all. Now here you go. This looks a little more relaxing.
Yeah, this is just above our house in Greenwood, California.
Beautiful.
We trained for that race.
This is one of our homebreds, one of our babies.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a baby anymore.
No,
Let's catch it.
no.
I think that's Navor.
That's nice.
Okay, never mind. It's newborn.
That's beautiful. Where in California?
Near Auburn.
Oh.
So east of Sacramento by about an hour in the foothills there. And if you were to go another hour and a half over the mountain, you'd be at Lake Tahoe.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, I
just
bet
to
it's
get the flavor,
gorgeous.
yeah, it's really pretty.
Really
That's
gorgeous.
nice.
That's beautiful.
So how'd you guys get into horses?
I was fortunate to meet a guy on a ski hill when I just moved to Lake Tahoe, and I was tiny, and this kid I met, we were snowboarding, and he's like, "Hey, you like horses?" And I said, "Yeah." I haven't really been around too many, but and he invited me to go do to help with sleigh rides, and I fell in love
This is
with
along the Tiller
horses, and you couldn't keep me away. So
It's amazing. So the Tevis. This is actually,
That's-
if you're watching us, if you're listening to us, you have to go find us on Equus TV or Facebook.
Yeah, this is us just
And,
out riding for fun. This is not the day of the race. That is the trail.
That is just
Part of the
riding
trail.
for fun. That looks fun.
It was
yeah,
fun.
this was
Oh, yeah.
actually getting these horses ready for the national championship that just happened 2 weeks ago in Texas.
So we did the national championship during our road trip in Texas, and we both won. We won our weight divisions for both national
Are you
champions.
serious?
Now. Yeah.
Really? Oh my
That's fun.
gosh. That's incredible. Now you ride predominantly Arabians.
Yeah, and this is an Arabian, even though he looks like a bigger, beefier horse. But he's purebred. But yeah, we ride Arabs, Arab crosses. We've got some Appy Arabs, some Anglo Arabs, but mostly.
And you like the Arabian breed for the endurance because they're so hardy and tough, aren't they?
Yeah, they're most. Well, this is our little foal.
We're on the side here, not we're going sideways, but that's okay. We're good. Look.
Yeah.
How old is
There he
that
is.
foal? Yeah.
He's just a
Makes
weanling.
you feel like you're about to fall.
I know.
If you're watching, we've got a tilted
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a weanling. So he's in this video. He's just shy of 6 months old.
How cool is that?
Yeah. It's a lot of
So
fun.
you're getting him just early acclimated.
We were
to-
actually taking him to our friend's house, and he's gonna grow up on the hard ground in California, up in the mountains. And we were just taking him from our ranch
Yeah,
to
so
their
we
ranch.
ponied him over, just leave him there for this winter.
Oh, so he'll stay over there and learn.
Yeah.
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 Just grow up on the hills.
This is another beautiful picture. Look at
And
these
that's,
two.
so that's my horse on the right that I'm campaigning with the foal, and they have pretty similar markings.
They're
So.
so similar.
And they're not related at all. We just
That's
wanted to get-
incredible how alike they are.
This
aren't
this
they?
is just
Oh, look at that! Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That really is. And so this one on the left is one you ride regularly.
that's the one I rode at the Tevis that was making all those decisions.
Supersonic.
Oh, that's the one that made all the good decisions.
Yeah, and then he also won the national championship for me.
Wow, he's beautiful.
ago.
Look at him. His coloring is amazing. He really is. He looks very very kind and very smart.
He is. He's a cool dude. And this is when we dropped off Trigger at the neighbors to grow up with their foal.
That's nice for them to be together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how nice. That's perfect. So they can.
Yeah, and when we picked up Trigger, yeah, he's a little wild, so he still has his little catch rope on him. So
Yeah, he's got.
he's
some
getting a
little-
lot of handling where he's at. We only had him for a week in our possession before bringing him to our friends.
So not a lot of time for
Yeah.
him, but he's got somebody to play with now and learn horse
Yeah.
behavior and herd stuff with, which is good. I love it when they have a friend.
Yeah, it's super fun. Our friends have cameras set up for the babies.
So we could check in on him anytime. Our friend was loading up yesterday in their trailer, and we called. We're like, "Hey, we see we're out riding. That's your weird stalker friends."
We're stalking you.
Because any motion, the camera goes, "Doo-doo," and I go, "What's the baby camera? Let's see what's happening."
So is the Tevis Cup, is that the most challenging of all the endurance races?
That I've ever done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's the toughest, right? That's 100 miles.
And it's the one that started our sport.
Whoa.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's the rock I should have been going up, but I was going down. That's our friend riding one of our lease horses this year. That's Cheryl. She's from Florida as well.
Wow.
Yep.
So you lease out your horses to people who train with you. They train with you on the horse?
Not necessarily. They just have to be qualified, and we interview them to make sure that we want to send them out on this trail with our horse.
They usually ride them a few times so we can kind of pass along the buttons per se and what to...
Yeah, and it's also required that the race itself requires you to have at least 300 miles of competition of 50 miles or greater, and then our personal requirement is you have to have completed a one-day 100 before going
A
there.
one-day 100.
Yeah, before going on our horse. And this girl is 8 years old. She was doing, the rider behind Jeremy, she was doing her first 100-mile ride on her pink-tailed horse there.
I like the pink tail.
100 miles nonstop.
100-mile nonstop. This girl is amazing. Her name is Stella.
And she's how old?
8
years old.
8 years
And we
old.
sponsored her. So if you're under 16 years old, you need to ride with an adult sponsor that's older than 21 years old. So we took her through the 100, and that was super fun. And it was amazing because most kids, they look at the scenery and they're like, whatever. This girl, whenever you came to Avista, she would look how beautiful it is. And she was genuinely
Into it.
appreciating the beauty of the area. It
So
was,
how long does it take to do a 100-miler?
when did we finish that thing?
Ooh, this one, wow, man, maybe 16, 17 hours. That
It took a
one.
long time.
Ooh. That's incredible. Oh, look at the dog hanging in there. I love this.
That's Theo,
Theo.
our Anatolian. Used to be our goat dog. Now he's our horse dog.
Now he's the horse dog. That noise means that we already have to take a break, but the good news is we do have another segment with Heather and Jeremy, so I've got loads more questions to ask, so stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. We'll be back in just a minute. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. At Crystal Cryo, you can relax and enjoy a non-invasive cryo skin facial. Reduce fine lines and wrinkles and tighten the skin. Improve texture and tone. Stimulate collagen production. Reduce inflammation and acne. And increase blood flow to the skin, resulting in a more youthful, radiant appearance. And it all takes only about 30 minutes. Boost your confidence now and set up a consultation. Find Crystal Cryo at crystalcryo.net or on social media. Experience the ultimate in relaxation and rejuvenation. Pamper and revitalize your body, mind, and spirit at Crystal Cryo.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Before we ask any more questions, I am going to do this so I don't forget.
Yeah, we forget.
Yes, we forget so often. Heather and Jeremy run us on top.
We have black bags for
goodie
you.
bags.
We have black bags
that do
for you.
weird things with them. And we also have this is really fun. Pat Myers Electric has a gift certificate here for you for a completely free barn consultation on all your electrical stuff to have a look and tell you if you've got any issues or concerns of safety or anything like that. So
Yeah, he's amazing. He
is.
came
He's
out
awesome.
to my place and within 3 seconds had found all the problems.
Perfect.
Yeah, so he'll come out and take a look. No, no obligation, no cost, nothing. His team is amazing.
Troubleshoot it. And
Yeah,
let you
just
know
come in, tell
how
you
you're gonna
like
catch on fire.
exactly, because you don't want that to happen. We all know that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Tevis Cup. What's the most exciting thing, Jeremy? We'll start with you. What's the most scary, exciting thing that's ever happened to you on an endurance ride?
Ooh, oh. I don't know. I have so much fun. I don't know.
What would scare me?
This year was a little nerve-wracking because I decided to do it with a deck rope. So the start, I wasn't sure how it would go, and it went really well. I was surprised, but
good horseman, good horse.
That was for me one of the most exhilarating things. Starting knowing my horse has to trust me and listen to me.
Yeah, I'm going to start
fantastic.
with that.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? Oh my goodness, yes. So no bridle.
Nope.
That's really
I like your pants.
Thanks.
Yeah, they look comfy.
So if
don't
you're
they?
listening on the radio station, he has lightning going down his pants.
Yeah, and they look like some comfy pants.
Our
too.
friend Diane Stevens of Crazy Legs Tights makes those, and they're fleece lined on the inner leg. They're super comfortable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heather usually clips my horse and puts a lightning bolt on my butt, on my horse's butt.
Look at that. That's phenomenal.
But her coat was too short.
I guess comfort's pretty important for 12 to 14 hours, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you've got to be comfortable in the saddle.
for sure. Yeah, no rubs.
No rubs, no, for sure. How about you for an exciting,
Oh, exciting.
thrilling?
Thrilling. Well,
We watched one.
we watched one, yeah.
I hope you say when she flipped backwards on the hill.
yeah. Well, one time, one of our horses, our friend, the horse kind of went off the side, and before we could make up any choice of what to do, the tree had caught the horse right on the edge of the trail. Like, the horse was maybe 10 or 11 feet off, and then it was a cliff, and a tree had caught the horse. And the horse decided, I saw her little eyes get real big and look at me. And I'm on a single track, so if the horse came up, she'd have one chance to get hooked onto the trail, or else I don't think the tree was going to catch her again. So as I'm moving the horse that I'm on back, get out of the way, we got to make room. She did a Hail Mary and jumped, and she caught the trail with her front legs and just did this huge Hercules pull up onto the trail. I thought, well, she probably just tore everything, and she's probably going to be really sore and not finish the ride, but at least she's fine and alive here. And she finished.
She finished.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
So I always say trail riding is the most unpredictable thing you can do on a horse.
Yeah.
And the most fun.
Yeah.
Now tell us about the rest of the four-leggeds, because some wonderful photos of you traveling with the dog and the cat, and I love it.
Yeah, we have some fun traveling, and it's really fun when you have a cat that's kind of into you, being pet and reaching for you. There he is.
I know, I never saw a cat look like this before. He's lovely.
He is ridiculous. He is one of the dogs. And for the first couple years, he'd get on that thing with the Chihuahua, and the Chihuahua was really mad. And now the Chihuahua's kind of given up. So they'll both share that center console as we're driving.
Cat likes to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is,
Cat's acting like a dog. Oh, that one, I love that one.
He spends, I don't know, 75% of the time in my lap.
Oh,
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
cool.
got his cat box in the back, and then
Pretty
if he
cool.
uses it, we just pull over and scoop it out.
Yeah.
Now, for our listeners who don't know as much about endurance, there's regular checks on your horse and you, right? When you're doing all this exciting stuff.
Yeah, every 15 to 20 miles, there's a full vet examination, and there's many metabolic parameters, and safety for the horse is utmost importance.
Yeah, and they have to be fit to continue at every given point, including the finish line. So they have to be sound. They have to not be, needing any help as far as metabolically or anything like that.
Their heart rate has to come down to usually 60 or 64 beats.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure our listeners knew that, because it's a long way. It's 100 miles. I want them to know.
So
I know
how
how you guys feel about your horses. I know you adore
it's a
them.
zero tolerance sport, so we can't use anything. No butte, nothing, just ice. We can use things like Desitin if they have a little cut or rub. Nothing medicated.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. No
So what's their
commands.
heart rate when they show up, and then how long do they give you to get it down to 60s?
Well, your hold time starts when your heart gets to 60 or 64 beats, depending on the race, and then
But when you arrive into the check,
You have-
it could be really high.
yeah, you have
depending on
15,
how
20
quickly you
minutes.
come in
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes, but
before you're
yeah,
disqualified.
but the good horses are coming down in 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay,
Wow.
so you train them so that you hit that checkpoint 2 to 3 minutes, you get to go
Yeah.
instead of getting held up for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and the thing is also the strategy of it is your horse has to reach that number before your hold starts. So if you were there for an hour, let's say, all the minutes you spend trying to get the pulse down are wasted time.
Yeah.
So if you have a horse that comes in blowing really hard and your horse at 80 beats a minute, and you've been there 10 minutes putting water on cooling him, and I just cruise in on my horse at 60, my hour starts right now, and you've lost 10 minutes to me.
Wow.
So there's a lot of strategy in that.
Yeah, in 10 minutes, depending on the race, that could be 3 or 4 miles.
Right.
Well, not 4 miles, but like two or 3 miles.
That
Wow.
make a difference between you winning and not
oh,
winning.
huge.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and you guys win a lot. I know. I
check.
follow you pretty closely.
We
You
have
have
fun,
to
but
be-
we go slow a lot too.
Yeah.
And
that's just
yeah,
as
we just
fun.
were
Yeah.
watching the sunset at our race on Saturday
Really.
on a 50-mile event.
And you love to just ride just for the fun of riding.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the competition that you do, obviously, but you just love to just go riding at the farm in Dunellen, right?
Well, the fun is all the time you get to spend and bond with them and get to do these fun things, and that's how you get to have a horse that like mine that I can ride with a string around her neck, and I spend some serious time with her.
I mean, we'll be in our living room, and if there's a full moon and we're watching Netflix, we'll stop it and go out and ride in the middle of the night. Like, oh, let's go.
I love
We
that.
just like riding.
So how many miles do you do a week on your horses?
Oh, we usually do 30 to 40 miles a day. So, and we
But
usually
not on like as riders, not on
as
one
riders.
horse.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying when you ride, how many miles do you log?
On a single horse in a week?
No,
No.
your whole
Just-
training's.
For a week,
oh,
so
huh, well, 40,
about
40
about
days.
180 to 200 miles, I would say, a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
You guys have to be like super fit.
yeah,
It feels like routine now, so it doesn't feel that way, but
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Do you do anything special to stay fit? You don't need to, because just ride and take care
Well,
of the horses. right?
sometimes, like for Tebus, I'll run and get really in good shape for running, but most of the time it's just
Because you
riding.
get off and run sometimes, don't you?
Yeah,
with
on the
the
mountain
horse.
courses. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
You
Oh,
get
so
off
that's
and-
allowed to get off your
Yeah,
horse and
yeah.
run?
It's a partnership. Yeah, a team. Yeah.
If your
Very
horse
cool.
wants a break, you get off and.
Well,
run for them.
mainly like Tebus or the big mountain races. There's the extreme downhills and uphills, and a lot of time I'll be competing. I'll be giving up 30, 40 pounds, and
To other competitors.
to the top. The top riders are usually a lot lighter than I am, so that's how I kind of make up for it. And then when we do international racing, the weight is more similar. So it's more of a level playing field than that, and the speeds are faster, so you're not getting off. But yeah, so.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's like super impressive. I know. So the really exciting part, at least for me anyway, is that next week we are actually going to go out to Dunellen, to their farm, and we are actually going to create a mini series, because I have like 10,000 more questions to ask them, and I know you probably do too if you don't know a lot about endurance or if you're just starting to learn about it. So there's so many different parts, like even Pete's question about how many miles a week you ride your horse. I mean, what a great question, and how that all works.
That's why I'm here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And how you keep a horse fit enough and yourself fit enough to be able to do this and love it. Not just do it, but
Yeah,
like love it and
really
live for
love
it.
it.
And you do. I mean, you do it every day.
I feel
It's-
bad. My horses sit around, so.
Yeah, mine too, and he's a bit
They
fat. so-
they
They
don't mind
love
either
the
way.
routine. They love a routine.
Yeah.
Well, Heather and Jeremy Reynolds, I want to thank you both. Dear friends, known you for a long time. We don't know how long, but a long time. I love them to death. I'm so proud of them. They've achieved such greatness in their sport, and we'll have that mini series coming up for you in a few weeks, and you'll get to see more of the horses, more of the farm, and learn even more about endurance. So thank you for being with us both.
thank
on
you.
it. We'll be back on the second half of the show in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Hey there, horsemen. Are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? LipChip is ready to revolutionize your barn. Built by horsemen, for horsemen. LipChip knows how you ride. If you're tired of carrying around paperwork, dealing with long trailer lines, and juggling all your horse's details while trying to compete, then the answer is the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Each scan reveals everything you need to work, compete, and to protect your horses. View current health paperwork, pre-register for your next event, and even check in on your horse's health. Horsemen, let's keep our horses safe and make our lives at the barn a little easier. The future is here, and the future is LipChip. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC. It makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy. Find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Dancing Pete
Don't
Rhoda
take that away
here.
from me.
Dancing Pete Rhoda here in the studio, Louisa Barton, and we have a couple special guests. We haven't had Tick Maynard. He has many titles. He's an author. You've probably read his book, See It Everywhere. It's everywhere. It's a great book, and he's also an eventer, and he does horsemanship, and he's doing Road to the Horse, colt starting, and then we have Glenn Stewart. Also does horsemanship and has done Road to the Horse before and is kind of alongside Tick for this experience.
Well, for
Pretty
now,
cool.
anyways, we're hanging out for 10 days.
Yeah, wonderful. Tick, tell us a little bit about Road to the Horse.
Well, Road to the Horse is a competition that's been around for about 20 years. It's been in Texas and Tennessee, I think, and for the last 10 years or more, it's been in Kentucky at the Kentucky Horse Park. And I went there to watch it for the first time live this past March. And before that, I'd only ever seen it on the live streaming or the DVDs. I got a little DVD collection, which people probably don't have anymore. And the first year that I really got into it was actually the year that Glenn was competing in 2012. And you were there as part of a team, I think, right? With another Canadian. They had a Nations Cup format that year. And the whole idea is they got 3 days to start some quarter horses. And, I mean, it's the kind of thing that I guess you either get into or you don't. But for me, I started watching it, and it's just like you're addicted. Like, you can't stop watching it. It's just amazing. It's just amazing the job these guys do.
It really is. It really is. So what made you want to do this? Is it just something you haven't done before, and you were like, you know, and you
wait a minute, he's an inventor. They do anything.
Yeah, this is true.
He's probably going to go there and go,
downright brave.
Well, where's the other two part of the competition part? We only did one.
Yeah, I mean, when I first watched it, it wasn't something that crossed my mind that it was something that I could do. You know, that I would be eligible to do it. It's by invitation only. And after watching it for a few years, you know, there's some people that I really admired. You know, you watch them do it, and it's just like watching an artist. You know, it's like they don't make a lot of mistakes, if any mistakes, and it's just so smooth, and they've got this rhythm, and they just really in 3 days develop a really nice relationship with the horse. But then at the same time, there's a few people that I'd be watching, and I'm kind of watching, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, I think I could do as good a job as that guy. You know?
Don't mention any names now.
Well, like if that guy can get through it, maybe I can get through it. You know. And I don't start, the number of horses that somebody like Glenn does. Like Glenn, I was talking to him about it, and he said he started over 5,000 horses. 3,000 horses.
That's a lot.
Oh, sorry.
It's just the numbers. Like, you know, once you get over starting 1,000 horses, I think it's just like, you know, it's just a whole bunch of horses. And there's other people like that have started thousands of horses, and that's not me. But I've started enough horses in the eventing world and people in show jumping or dressage that I started to think it'd be something that if I could get in, it would really up my game. And that's what Glenn here is doing, is he's helping me up my game.
Well, you do have a way with horses. I remember when we were at the Ocala Jockey Club, and this would be a few years back now, I remember we had a horse of yours, a Dark Bay, I think, was going around, and you and I were in the middle, and he was amazing. I mean, he was so good, especially in that environment. There was a lot going on, a lot of different people around, a lot of activity and everything. And I thought at that time, wow, this guy, he's pretty good. So I was impressed then, and have been at your farm and around you and your wife and your horses, and so I think that the foundation's definitely there. This is just a new challenge, right?
Yeah, it's a new challenge. It's going to be a big challenge. You know, Pete was out the other day watching, and I think you said after you hadn't seen me that nervous before, but it was.
You should have videoed him. We could have put the video.
No. So the big thing, guys, is when you put yourself out there, that's something. I mean, Glenn would probably say the same thing. There's a lot of guys that talk on the side, but when you get in that round pen and go, okay, let's do a colt start. And it's a totally different experience, especially how you were trying to do it with the timing so you can get your timing down for the event. So, Glenn, tell us a little bit about how it feels to be in that event, because I want to see what Tick thinks about this.
Well, probably feels different for everybody. Depends why you're going there, what the reason for going to the event in the first place is. But for me personally, I really enjoy the challenge and the pressure of it. I don't think there's anything that I've done. I've done other competitions that are world-class competitions where it's considered a world, you're going to win the world if you win it. So I've done other things, but this one is the only one that I've done that actually there's so much that you can do. Like there's some of the events, there's kind of nothing you can do at the point. You get to the event and you've done everything you can do ahead of time, and now it just is what it is. But at this event, there's so many little things that you can do right or wrong. And the horses, you don't know the horse, you've never seen the horse before, you've seen him for
Wow, that was my next question. Have you seen the horse?
Yeah, so they run them through arena, and you get to look at like a dozen horses, and you pick your horse out of there depending on what you get to draw. But then you go in and do, you pick the horse that you want to pick, and then that's the whole decision too.
For our listeners, how old is that horse?
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds,
yeah. Yeah, so you pick your horse, and then you go in the thing and go do whatever you do. But the feel of it is, I was saying, when you're riding around just for yourself, your bar is here, sort of deal. And then when you're riding for a customer, because somebody's paying you now, so you're going to bring the bar up a little bit. But when you go there and you're riding for $100,000 and a world championship title, and there's 6,000 or 8,000 people watching you, then your bar crawls up again. So you put the bar as high as you can possibly put it.
He's sweating over here.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah, and that's the feeling you get when you watch. You know, for anybody that started horses, I think you realize pretty quickly that it's one thing, you know, that you can start a horse at home, you know, by yourself or with your coach, and you spend, 6 months doing it. And then it's another thing to be able to start a horse, you know, like in a few weeks and do a good job. And then it's a whole nother deal entirely when you're trying to start a horse, you know, in 3 days with a time limit and with 5 judges watching you and a crowd of people watching you and prize money on the line and everybody up in the stands
No
with their
pressure
own
at all.
opinions about how you're doing.
Oh, and you know they all do.
And they all do, yeah.
I could do better than that one.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not 3 days. It's actually 3 hours. So you get 2 days, and then on the third day, you have to do the course. So you get 20 minutes on the third day.
Yeah.
So you really get kind of 3 hours and 20 minutes that you actually get your hands on the horse to get him ready for the course, and then out you go, open the big gate into the big arena, and with all the people all lining the side and banners on the wall that would upset lots of people's broke horses, and you got to walk, trot, canter, and go both ways, and go over bridges and open gates and drag things and swing a rope and go through a weave and go over jumps and ride across tarps, and you got that 3 hour and 20 minutes to get a horse ready to do all those things, pick up his feet, halter broke, everything.
So, Glenn, what did you set up Tick for during this 10 days? Because I know Tick invited you down so that he could get ready, prepared to get that feeling and have somebody of your caliber to go, hey, you're missing this, missing that. So how did you set him up for this?
Just sharing some of my ideas and some of the things that we better take a break because
Good. Yeah, you got it.
Well, that's that sound again.
That's the sound, but I actually have lots more questions when we come back, so we'll be back in just a minute with these chaps. Stay with us. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Dancing Pete from Complimentary Horsemanship here with Louisa Barton, and we've been chatting here to Tick and Glenn, and we've been talking a little bit about this colt starting experience, which is incredible to me. I've heard about this before, but I've never really looked into all the fine details. So there's a herd of horses at the Kentucky Horse Park that have been basically castrated and branded and are not handled already. You draw a chip and find out when you get to pick, and you get to pick the horse you know nothing about. Mm-hmm. And in a very short period of time, with an audience, you have to start that horse and put it through a course. And in that course, you have to do what with the horse?
They have usually 15 or 16 obstacles. I think Glenn would probably remember better than I do, but they got a bridge, they have a weaving pattern, they got a noodle thing that you got to go through, you got to go over some trot poles and a little jump, and you got to swing a rope and drag a barrel or a teddy bear, and every year they have what they call a mystery obstacle. And I know Glenn one year had a water pool with I think they had little rubber ducks in it or something.
No, this one was just a black tarp with water in it that you had to walk through the box with your colt. And then sometimes they'll have a sidewalk that you got to ride up onto a sidewalk with this table, and then make a turn and ride off it and try to get your horse to go up on that. And sometimes they got a tippy thing. You ride your horse up and it tips your colt. So it's pretty challenging. There's flowers and everything and spooky little things.
And after that, your horse is ready for the Tevis Cup.
It's ready.
For sure. I'm just like, I'll take one of those. It sounds good. That's amazing. And so when does this all happen, Tick? When are you doing this?
It'll be the third weekend in March. So I got a few months still to get ready. I'm going to try to really take advantage of that time. Glenn's here for 10 days, and then he's going down to Wellington for a little bit, and then coming back up to Ocala, doing another clinic here. I think the next clinic is cow working clinic. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll be open to the public. So I think anybody that wants to come audit that, or there might be 1 or 2 spots left for horses, they've got the chance to come do that. And actually, depending on when this airs, we're doing this clinic here all the way through Friday. So if anybody wants to come out this week and see this colt starting in action, see me work with the horses, or Glenn give me some tips. We're going to be starting 3 horses, so we're halfway through that time, and all 3 of these horses are for sale as well.
Very interesting. So you're having a chance, obviously not with the horse that you'll be competing with, but you're having a chance to learn some of the steps that you need to go through. And for our listeners, you're a 3-day eventer, so is your wife, Sinead, and so you're crazy already. We know because you're a 3-day eventer, and we all know that you got to be really brave, and it's kind of like being an endurance race, so you got to be pretty brave to do those things. So you've obviously had a lot of experience in the horse world already, and been around, started eventers and that sort of thing. But this is a different kind of a feel.
This is very different. It's going to take me way out of my comfort zone. One of the first things that Glenn and I talked about when I met him a year or 2 ago for the first time was he asked me about the reason for doing things, and he told me, the reason that he did Road to the Horse is, he said, you can do something to prove something, or you can do something to improve. And when Glenn has done Road to the Horse and some of these other colt starting competitions, he's told me that to really push himself, to really improve, he'll pick one of the harder horses. He won't pick the easiest horse. Well, for me, I'm going to pick the easiest horse I can think of.
Which one's Tony the Pony?
Because just by being there, it's going to be out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to be improving no matter what horse I get.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned from Glenn? Because that's, mentors I've had and people I've learned from, and I've gone over to watch and learned some stuff from Glenn. What's the big thing you're getting from this experience from Glenn?
Yeah, I think probably the confidence he has in his system, in his program, that he's seen it work so many times. And it's not just the big picture. Every little nuance of how to hold the rope, how to have your fingers over top of it, how to take a little feel on it. how to place your foot in the stirrup, how to take up a feel when you want to bend your horse. He's thought about all of these things. So it's not just like he's saying something because it looks good or because somebody told him to do it. Glenn's really aware of the reasons behind everything, and you can ask him at any point. You can say, hey, why are you doing this? And he's going to have a good reason about it. And I think because of that that knowledge and that skill that he has, he comes across, and it's something that I've been really trying to do myself, as very relaxed and confident. I think that's something that horses really pick up on.
They do.
As soon as you get in there and you feel like you're in a hurry, you're feeling tense, you're not in the moment, you're thinking about the past or the future, and I think that really affects both how you work and how the horses perceive you. So I'm really trying to be a little more zen like that.
Be relaxed.
Yeah, be relaxed.
Yeah, get some of that rub off on you a little bit. And
exactly.
Know that you can do it. I have great confidence in you. I've seen you around horses for long enough to know that I think this will be a big success.
Thank you.
So, Glenn, what would be the biggest advice you would give to Tick going into this competition and with this horse?
Biggest advice? I don't know.
Don't get your knickers in a twist.
Don't get your knickers in a twist.
I guess probably the biggest tip would be sprinkle things in there. Don't get stuck on any one thing. Just get a little bit of this done, get a little bit of this done, and just keep sprinkling little things back, and then you can always go back and make it a little bit better. But just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Because if you're doing everything right, even though this isn't done, these things here will make this better. So I suppose, I don't know if that's the biggest tip, but it's one of the things that we've talked about.
Wow. Well, I have some goodies for you guys. I have Tick already asked about this, so I want you to have that.
Yeah, this is a gift certificate that I just received.
Thank you.
That's
for,
right. Pat Myers. Pete Myers, Dancing Pat.
It's a gift certificate for $5,000.
Well, they give me one for a new house. Awesome.
You got to be on the Horse Talk Show, obviously. And your Piranha goodie bags. Nice little travel sizes for being on the road, which is good. But yeah, if you give Pat Myers a call, he'll come out and check out all the things that you maybe don't want to know, but it's good to know, because nobody wants to deal with
and like he says, there's no judgment.
No,
he's like,
it's a no judgment zone.
You know what you know, and just like if you came and checked out on his horses, he hopes you would be nice.
Yeah, this is true.
And you would tell him what you thought, and he's honest. That's the other good thing, is he's going to tell you what he sees.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to give him a call. We're going to have him come out to our farm, take a look around.
Do a walkthrough for you, yeah. We should film it.
Listen to her. We should film it.
We should film it. We should.
You guys will get along. He's a character.
He really is. He's a great guy. So, family, how are the kids?
The kids are great. We've got our son Brooks just turned 5, and then our daughter Violet is about 1.5 years, and they're playing together and they're having a great time. They're both in the Montessori school here in Ocala, and they're just like the cutest things. They're just so addictive, The big thing I try to do with them every day, no matter how busy I am, is read to them in the evening.
That's fantastic.
And I was going to say, fathers out there, Tick is a really good father. I love watching you with your kids. It's really...
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. I think the times I've been out and visited, you were always wonderful with them. Are they going to be riders?
Brooks hasn't shown much interest yet. I wouldn't be surprised if when he gets a little older, he gets a little bit more interested.
He starts liking girls and sees all these girls riding, he's going to show off.
Yeah. But our daughter is, it's interesting. He's more into the smaller animals, frogs, lizards, ants, spiders, bugs, grasshoppers. He's not as interested in the dogs and the horses, but Violet is like, she wants to ride the dogs, she wants to pet the horses. Like, she's not into the bugs, but she's super into that already, even at 1.5 years. It's pretty interesting.
That's amazing. That's incredible. Well, I'm really excited for you. I'm very excited to hear about the results of all this. And you said this is in March?
This will be in March, yeah, and people can go and buy tickets and watch, and you can also, it'll be live streamed, so I'm not sure what that's on, but
I'm going to go back and watch a couple of those past years because I'm curious about this. I think it'd be interesting to see.
I was going to say, last month I was watching Glenn and Jonathan Fields doing theirs, and I always watch it every so often because it definitely helps your horsemanship.
Yep.
See
the horse
top
didn't
people.
Winnie, but Kylie's doing this.
Yeah,
so
the
that
Winnie
means
didn't go off.
Yeah, it's wrap up time. I want to thank you both for being with us. We're definitely be keeping up with all of this, and maybe come out and see you this week would be great. So thank you. We got to wrap it up. We're coming right back with the final segment of the show. Stay with us. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
And thank you to Larson Hay and Peterson Smith Equine Hospital, Seminole Feed and Ocala Dog Ranch. This week we were able to cover a lot of the Breeders' Cup championships and be there in California, and we're going to have a wonderful interview with Chip Dutro for you next week. But I want to start this segment off with Dancing Pete Roder's complimentary horsemanship tip of the week.
Dancing Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complimentary Horse. Okay, today's tip of the week is when you're riding, have a long focus. And your focus is your belly button, and you can add your eyes to it.
I don't like belly buttons.
You don't like belly buttons, okay. I always tell people, hold your hands against your cheeks and put your elbows against your chest, and that's how you turn your horse. Don't turn your head way far away. And when you're doing this, have a long focus. So I'll put out cones way out in the distance, and then that's where you ride to. So if you did a 20-meter circle, there might be 16 focal points as you ride that circle out in the distance away from your arena. So I tell people, think about your gun or your rifle having a sight in the front and a sight in the back. So you have a sight out in front of you and then one out in the distance by a tree or anything like that. So have a long focus, and your focus change to the next one is how you turn your horse. And then you use your rein or your leg to support that.
I still don't like belly buttons.
Okay.
Just saying.
So that's the tip of the week. So when you're riding, pay attention to where your focus of your belly button is. And if you focus down at your horse, you're giving them the leadership.
Yeah, and I guarantee that having had top endurance races in here in the studio and some top colt starters, an eventer, 3-day eventer, you've really got to be able to ride to be a 3-day eventer. And I know, I like I said, I've been around Tick a lot, horsemanship, and seen how he is with his horses. And I guarantee you those people have to follow that tip, because the horse can't have the upper hand in those situations.
And that's usually the difference between professionals and people that are getting started or in the middle, is they really think they're riding with their seat, but they're not. But once they get that belly button thought pattern, that seat starts happening without them knowing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I learned that from Sarah Martin. She was like, you're not riding with your seat. I'm like, huh? You're supposed to ride with your seat? What does that mean? So I learned that from somebody else. So
Well, I feel lame and tame in saying this after hearing about the colt starting in the endurance racing. It's very lame and tame. But for those of you that know I broke my neck a couple of years ago, you know I can't do much, but I do like to get on a horse. And Equus Television have a relationship with a place called Sunset Ranch in California, and wanted us to go up there and get some very special footage that they'll be airing on Equus Television. And Sunset Ranch actually get you on a horse and take you up to the Hollywood sign.
Wow.
And so Betsy from Larson Hay and I, very dear friend of mine, Betsy, who I always enjoy traveling with, she's just a joy to be around, loads of fun, and we always have such a good time. They actually take you up the side of a mountain on the side of the trail. These horses are very, very sure-footed. And just let you all know, we all have helmets on, by the way. The guide doesn't, but we all have helmets on. And they have you ride kind of down the edge of the path, because there's a lot of hikers and whatnot going up and down the path. So they have you stay all the way over on the edge so that you can see. And what's amazing is when you're riding, actually, off in the distance is Los Angeles. Which is amazing that you can actually see all the skyscrapers and everything, but yet you're out. That's Los Angeles right there.
Wow.
And you're kind of out there on these trails, but you can actually see the city. You know,
That's
the
where my sister
skyscrapers.
lives.
And is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this horse's name is Pluto. Of course, I wanted to load him up and bring him home, naturally. And Betsy was on Draco, the Palomino. She always ends up with the yellow horse, she said, which, makes sense. Because she likes those yellow horses.
That's right.
Anyway, they were all very chubby and well-fed and had not gone without a meal, obviously, and very sure-footed as well, which was nice. They've done it a few times, but they take you up and around until you get to the Hollywood sign, and then you get to kind of have your picture taken and whatnot. But it was nice. I mean, you can only walk. They don't allow any craziness, which is probably good.
Especially with you.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I will say it was a very interesting experience. I'm glad we did it. I think we both had sore butts after, because it's not exactly the most comfy saddle I've ever sat in my life. But I will say the horses were absolutely wonderful. The guide was fantastic. And I found some piranha.
Of course,
at the ranch.
Speaking of piranha, wasn't the gala amazing?
Oh, it was
golf
indeed.
tournament?
And actually, we were going to talk about that. Oh, there's me getting my little handkerchief. Oh, look, he's got his eye shut. Like, whatever. Yes, we were actually supposed to talk about the golf tournament in the first segment, and it was on our list of to-dos. But yes, the Piranha Life Golf Tournament and gala was absolutely amazing. Isaac was there. He actually droned the whole thing. The drone footage that he got was fantastic. Johan, Dr. Esther Brumman's husband, and Phil, whose birthday was last weekend.
60th.
Yep.
Happy birthday,
yes,
Philip.
from Beamer. It was absolutely wonderful to see them out there. And just to see everybody just having such a wonderful time. I actually got taught how to smack a golf ball, which was fun. And, of course, Betsy and I got to hang around
Thelma
together.
and Louise there.
Yeah, we were color coordinated there, out riding around, checking out what was going on. There were phenomenal prizes, fantastic sponsors that were involved in all of this. Wonderful, wonderful prizes. Great charities.
Food.
Yeah,
And
great food. Great charities. We had Heart of Florida Youth Ranch, Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, and Canines for Warriors, which each were awarded a $10,000 check at the end of the evening for their wonderful 501c3s.
And did you see the trophies?
The trophies were, look
Whoa.
at that. Yeah, I never saw
Is
trophies
that not like
that.
magic?
That's amazing, yes. So really, hats off.
So if you're watching
literally.
this, it's horse heads that are carved out of wood, and
Yeah.
then one is a pony in a rear up position.
Yep.
And it's all out of wood. It's beautiful
phenomenal,
with
isn't
piranha
it?
underneath it and then the names.
I know, it's making me think about Hobby Horse Games trophies for next year.
Whoa.
I think we need to reach out. And the Beamer chair was there, so you could get in the Beamer chair and have a little session. Yeah, a little Beamer session, because Marielle was right there. But it was really a wonderful, wonderful time. I think everybody had an exceptional event. I think the fact that it was done for 3 such wonderful charities made people even more enthusiastic about being out there at the Country Club of Ocala.
And I heard Magic was there from 6 in the morning till
Yeah.
like 6 at night.
Yeah.
When they left the
She
banquet.
loves her van. She loves her van, and it was all opened up inside for her like a stall with bedding, and she was very comfortable munching away and resting, and got to come out and visit with everybody. And anyway, it was phenomenal. Hats off to Piranha for all they do in this community
thank you,
and
Piranha.
beyond. Yes, thank you, Piranha. We got to wrap it up. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around. Till the same time next week.
See you next time.